Okay, so we're gonna look at the Kimura from the closed guard. My opponent generally is gonna start with his hands on my chest. Okay, so for this attack, we first need to get his hands to go on the mat before we can start to attack. So my hands are gonna go outside and underneath, just inside of his wrists. Okay, so at the same time, I'm gonna swim them through and outside and bring my knees to my chest. Okay, so I'm underneath, just below his hands. I'm gonna slide out, around, and bring my knees to my chest. Okay, as soon as I do this, the side that I want to attack, I'm first going to go to the opposite side, grab his wrist, and straighten my arm. Okay, now I'm going to slide back to this side to isolate his hand. Once this is done, I'm going to sit up, over, and grab my own wrist. Notice my guard is staying closed when I do this. Okay, I'm not going to open it right now. Close. I'm going to sit back down. Again, we want to apply as much leverage as possible. So I'm going to take his wrist, I'm going to pull it in all the way to his armpit, okay? Keeping the pressure down with his elbow to try and prevent him from posturing up. I'm going to start to turn towards his head, and my goal here is to get his wrist to touch the back of his head. Okay, so I'm just going to slowly rotate. I'm pushing with the outside hand on his wrist. The other one is more just for support here. Okay, so I'm pushing, hand, touch the back of his head, and wait for the tap. So again, from a different angle, my opponent has his hands on my chest. I'm going to take both of my hands and come outside and underneath. Okay? I'm going to slide up, swim out, and bring my knees to my chest. Okay, when I do this, my hand should go right to his wrist. Okay? Guard is staying closed. I'm going to sit up. My armpit will touch the top of his shoulder. Underneath, and I grab my own wrist. Okay, again here, it's easier if my thumbs are attached to my hand, okay? Instead of going all the way around, it's easier if they're attached to the hand. I'm going to sit back down, okay? Some people try to apply it here, but again, if he has a lot of rotation in his shoulder, it's not going to be very effective. So before I apply any pressure, I'm going to take his wrist and try and slide it into his ribs, and up all the way to his armpit, okay, as much as possible. You can't go too far here. Okay, then my goal right now is to try and touch the bottom of his wrist to the back of his neck by pushing with the outside hand. So just very slowly, so I don't hurt my opponent, I'm going to push with my left hand and wait for the tap. Again, you'll notice I only had to move his wrist about an inch. Okay, that means I'm using correct leverage. If I'm out here and I'm rotating a ton and not getting the tap, I should stop and reevaluate, okay, and make sure that his wrist is in that tight position towards his ribs, up to his armpit, small rotation. Okay.